John covers a classic American drama.
And Holly has performances from not one, but two great musicals.
It's all coming up on this edition of Houston Theater Beat.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this month's edition of Houston Theater Beat. I'm your co-host, John Lazarou.
And I'm your co-host, Holly Grice.
And Holly, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, John?
Good, I'm doing fabulous.
Always
fabulous.
nice to see you.
Always good to see you. Glad to have you aboard for the show this month. Everyone excuse the way I look. Holly, of course, looks gorgeous like she always does. I was only doing camera work today, so I dressed down. Please forgive me.
You look great. You always look great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I pay her to say that, by the way.
He does, but that's a whole nother story.
So I understand, talking about theater news coming up, I understand that you're involved with an upcoming gala for a theater group that's very near and dear to my heart. You want to tell the HTB audience about what's going on?
I am. So I'm going to be singing at SRO Productions Gala, their spring gala. It's May 24th, Saturday night at 7 p.m. And there's going to be a variety and a number of actors performing. They're going to do past shows and songs from future shows. There's going to be champagne, dessert bar, and karaoke after for all the guests. So you can get up on stage and you can sing your heart out.
Good.
And
that's fabulous.
Yes, and anyone's welcome to come. You can get tickets at www.sro-productions.com. It's going to be a great time. John and I are going to be there, so you can hang out with us if you have any desire to do so.
Right, absolutely. And of course, SRO is a theater that is near and dear to both Holly and I. They've been on Houston Theater Beat a number of times, and we're always very glad to have the folks at SRO on. And is it at Obsidian?
It's at Obsidian, yes.
It's at Obsidian Art Space, which is in the Heights, which we also feature frequently on the show. So you have a chance, come see Holly sing, you'd be in for a treat, and join the folks at SRO because it's certainly a worthwhile activity.
And it's a great group of people. It
Sure.
really is, the people that run the production company. So.
Absolutely. And I will also probably be hanging around at Obsidian.
Yes, and tell me what's going on, because I heard a little bird told me you were going to be auditioning for something
Right.
soon.
My good friend Denise O'Neill, who's also been featured on Houston Theater Beat, did ask me to audition for Fade to Black, which some of you remember we featured last year during its inaugural season. It's the new Houston festival featuring African American playwrights, and it's a great festival, and I have no idea whether I'll be cast or not, but everybody needs to go ahead and think forward to that. There's information all over the interwebs about Fade to Black. If you Google it, you will see Fade to Black Houston, you'll see what's going on, so check out Fade to Black as well, because it's coming up this summer, and that's another event that you're definitely going to want to check out as well.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, on this month's Backstage segment, I'm going to be paying a visit to Playhouse 1960 and talk to director Sam Martinez and his cast about PH 1960's upcoming production of Lillian Hellman's classic American drama, The Children's Hour.
And in this month's In Performance segment, I'm going to be in Upper Kirby visiting one of Houston's most unique venues, the Music Box Theater, where we'll see a great musical number from the cast of I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change.
And in Holly's great new segment, A Final Note, we take a look at the classic crowd-pleasing musical Gypsy, which is coming up at the Players Theater Company at the beautiful Owen Theater in Conroe. It's a full half hour of music and drama this month, so let's get started. Hi everybody, I'm here on the main stage at Playhouse 1960, and Playhouse 1960 has made an excellent choice this season. They're doing a great American classic and one of my very favorite scripts of all time, The Children's Hour by Lillian Hellman. And I'm very glad to have been invited to bring you all here with me to Playhouse 1960 to talk to the director and some of the cast members about this great classic American play. And I'm being joined today here on the stage by Sam Martinez, who's the director of the Children's Hour. He, of course, is a familiar face to Houston Theater Beat audiences. He's wearing his director's cap this time, I might add. Then next we have Karen, who's being played by Katie Rinaldi, and Martha, who's being played by Carrie Lee Sparks. And there on the very end, we have Timothy Eggert, who's playing Joe. And actors, and Sam, thank you very much for joining me on this month's Houston Theater Beat. Sam, I wanted to ask you, I was noticing, we always talk about, with the classic American scripts, we always talk about relevance. Are they still relevant? Do they still matter to audiences? I saw a very interesting news story the other day about first and second grade students who had made YouTube videos about how they conspired to get their teachers fired. And of course, the Houston Theater Beat audience, being very theater savvy people, they know the plot, of course, of the Children's Hour, which focuses on schoolgirls who start rumors and innuendo about the two teachers, which of course eventually costs them a great deal. What has your experience been working with the script in terms of the relevance of such a classic script to the modern audience? How would you address that?
Well, the script is something that I read about 10 years ago, and it's always been something that I've held on to because it's a story that you see over and over and over again. And if you don't keep these types of classic pieces, I guess, keep doing them, or at least do them every once in a while, the audience is going to forget them. And I think this is one of those pieces that if we don't do it soon, it's just nobody's going to remember it. It'll be something that somebody does in a classroom setting and they forget about it. The story itself, you see it over and over again in the news with how much power these children have over these adults' lives and how they're completely turned upside down. And I think this story in particular is one that you can do it now or you can do it 50 years from now and it's still going to be relevant. It's still going to be something the audiences are going to want to come and see. Sure,
Absolutely. Part of the genius of Lillian Hellman is that her writing is eternal and very classic. Absolutely true. Katie, talk to us a little bit about Karen. Of course, she's part of this dynamic between the two teachers and the two friends. What's been the most challenging thing you think would be for you about approaching Children's Hour, the script?
I think just for me, she has a lot of different choices to make, and she has to be able to make those black and white decisions. I can't sit on it and be like, well, I don't know if I feel like it like this or this. I have to be yes or no. And so making those black and white decisions for each of the multiple choices she has to make has been a challenge, deciding which way.
Sure. There's not much room for a gray area
no,
here.
Not really.
You have to make it. It's decision-making time
yes.
for the actors and for actresses, absolutely. And Carrie Lee, I'd ask you perhaps the opposite question about Martha. What's been the most rewarding thing for you so far? What's been the joy?
I would say connecting with the fellow actors. I mean, I know that's part of any rehearsal process as well, but what I get from them helps feed the things within the character herself, and I think there's the dynamics as well has been a lot of fun to play. You know, there's highs and there's lows, there's positives and there's negatives, and I think that makes for a really interesting ride.
Sure. There's such a connection between these two female characters, more so than almost any other play I can think of, between two female characters. Have the two of you worked together before? This is the first time. You haven't. So you've been able to discover all those things about each other as actors as well as characters. That's very cool. Timothy, let's hear about the male perspective on all this. You're playing Joe, of course, who's the fiance.
Yes.
What has the experience been like for you? How has it helped you grow or develop as an actor?
Well, it has an awful lot. It's actually really refreshing to work with a director like Sam, who challenges us and has creative ways to help us find the truth in every single moment of the play. I'm learning a lot, and I'm learning a lot with the people that I'm working with. It's been a godsend. I mean, sometimes I kind of wonder if I'm talented enough to actually be on the stage with these people. But But really, this has just been phenomenal for me.
That's great.
This is the most excited I've been in a long time.
Great. You have a lot of experience? You've done a lot of
Actually, no.
No? Okay.
It's weird. I started in high school and college, and then went away for a while, and it's like I was trying to be a filmmaker and a writer, and there were like little hints throughout my life going, we need to be acting, and I didn't take it seriously until a couple years ago,
Right.
and this is really the happiest I've been ever.
Believe me, I know Sam can vouch for this. Our world is populated by people who leave the live stage and then come back
Yeah.
and find just that much more joy when
Yes.
when we get them back, so to speak, into the fold. So that's excellent. It's good to know that. Oh, everybody, stay tuned, because what we're going to see right now is these actors are going to be performing a scene in rehearsal from Lillian Hellman's The Children's Hour, to give you a little flavor of what's coming up in store for you here at Playhouse 1960, and that's coming up right now.
Why haven't you told me about this before?
I'm not telling you anything we haven't talked about often.
You never told me that it was to be so soon. You never told me about a house or...
We only decided the other night. I guess it's a big day for the school. I guess we're good teachers. Rosalie has finally put an L in could.
You really are going to leave, aren't you?
I'm not going to leave, and you know it. Why do you say things like that? We agreed a long time ago that my marriage wasn't going to make any difference to the school.
But it will. You know it will. It can't help it.
That's nonsense. Joe doesn't want me to give up here.
I don't understand you. It's been so damn hard building this place up. Slaving and going without things to make ends meet. Think of a winter coat without holes in the lining again. And just when we're getting on our feet,
You're all ready to let it go to hell?
My marriage is not going to interfere here. You're making something out of nothing.
it's going to be hard going on alone afterwards.
You haven't listened to a word I've said. You are not going on alone.
You talk as if you had never taken the marriage very seriously.
I don't mean that, but it's so...
Hello, darling. Hi, Martha.
Hello, Joe.
Come and have a look at your cousin.
I don't like to look at her very much. What's the matter now? Oh, I stopped at Verney's on the way over here. Helped him with a new bull. He's here to deliver a baby.
Come and look at your cousin. She's claiming that she has heart problems.
Our little Mary pops up in every day's dispatches.
Go and see her. Heart attacks are nothing to play about.
I've never played with one in my life.
Well, thank you, Sam and the actors, Katie, Carrie Lee, and Timothy, for that wonderful scene from Children's Hour coming up here at Playhouse 1960. Sam, you have the information for the Houston Theater Beat audience about the tickets and the dates, and most importantly, of course, always the website here at Playhouse 1960, so that the audience can get information about the show.
Right. We open on May 2nd, and we run through May 17th. Tickets are $18 for adults, $15 for student, and the website is www.ph1960.com.
Good. And remember, Playhouse 1960's website it's a little different. It's www.ph1960.com. Remember, Playhouse 1960 is a .com theater. Make sure you go to the Playhouse 1960 website and get all of the information and buy your tickets to come see this classic American play by Lillian Hellman, The Children's Hour, which is being presented here at Playhouse 1960 coming up in May. I'd like to thank my guests for this segment, Sam Martinez, who's the director of Children's Hour here at Playhouse 1960. We have Katie Rinaldi, who's playing Karen, and Carrie Lee Sparks, who's playing Martha, as well as Timothy Eggert, who's playing Joe. And everybody stay tuned, because we'll be back with more of the show in just a moment.
I'm very pleased to be here at the Music Box Theater with the cast of their upcoming production of I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change. change. Joining me today is the director of the show, Mr. Jimmy Phillips, and I have actors Brad Goertz and Beth Lazarou. Thank you so much for coming out today.
Thank you.
So I Love You, You're Perfect Now Change is actually the second longest running show in off-Broadway history. It's also been showcased in more than 250 cities worldwide, which is pretty amazing. But in my opinion, the most amazing thing about this show is that there's actually been over 50 on-site marriage proposals. Now,
That's absolutely right.
It's crazy. Having done theater for a while, it's amazing to me that a show could actually provoke someone to propose marriage. So Jimmy, for having said that, for our audience members that aren't as familiar with the show, could you tell us a little bit about the production and why are people proposing at it?
It's a great little jewel box review written by Joe DiPietro and Jimmy Roberts. It is about relationships between men and women, and from courtship all the way through marriage, through raising children, through old age, and it's a lovely story about love.
Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, everybody wants to hear and see something about love, I think.
Yes, yes.
So Brad, now a lot of the critics have said that I Love You, You're Perfect Now Change is a show that everyone can relate to at some point in their life. Do you feel that that's true? And tell us about your experience as an actor in the show.
I absolutely feel that that's true, and one of the things that the creators have told us about the show is that it's about people trying to connect. You can play it as a satire, and people would still get it, but the way people are really going to connect with this is if they see that it's two people on stage, or three people, however many, trying to connect on different levels and at various times in their relationships. Some of it's comic, some of it's touching, everything that everybody's experienced at one time or another.
Wonderful. That's great. And Beth, just to add to that, tell us about, because you guys are playing multiple characters, correct?
Right.
Because there's 4 actors in the show. So Beth, tell us a little bit about your character development, and I'm curious to find out, have you drawn from any personal or real life experience in your
What
characters?
haven't I drawn from personally? To like Brad was saying, the show has to be played from a core of truth, because it does touch on so many realistic experiences in every relationship. And so for me, yeah, I definitely drew a lot from my own personal dynamics and relationships as being a young woman in her 30s.
Well, folks, go ahead and make sure you stay tuned, because we're about to have a fantastic musical number from the very talented cast of I Love You, You're Perfect Now Change. And that's coming up right now.
First date, new romance, clean shirt, pressed pants, brush the teeth, mousse the hair, Calvin Klein underwear.
Right guard, toothpaste, bring the condoms just in case. Listerine, take a swill, styling gel, minoxidil.
I will splash on musk.
I will knot my tie, and before I go, I will check my fly. It is women who have turned me into this, a coiffed up and dry clean guy.
Facial cream from a spa, lingerie, wonder bra, hairspray, hair spritz, wax a leg, shave the pits. Act petite, coy and perch, don't eat much, no dessert, sweet and low, half and half, smile a lot, fake a laugh.
I have primped and plucked.
I have rubbed on nair. I have spent 2 hours on my face and hair. And I did all this for a guy I barely know, and I bet he won't even care.
I'll behave real well, show her just the good stuff only.
I could weave a spell if I lie about some things.
I hope he's mature, unlike any guy I've dated.
Still I will endure. Somewhere someone dreams of me.
But I got baggage, emotional baggage, a plain load of baggage that causes much saggage. Everybody,
We got baggage,
Emotional draggage, and we've been lugging around this baggage a long, long time. Time Shit! Will my hopes be met? Will my fear dispel? Will I captivate or will I repel? Will I show her just how wonderful I am? Or will I be a date from hell? First date, new romance, different partner, same dance. Ready now, almost time, here we go, doorbell chime. Patient queen from the star. Show her just the good stuff only. I could weave a spell. If I found some, here I go once more, fishing for another lover. One more waiting door, one more very long, long shot.
Well, that number was so good that I think it just made me want to propose to somebody. John, where's John? Oh, I think he's running away from me now. Well, Jimmy, thank you so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. Jimmy Phillips, the director of the show, Brad Goertz, and Beth Lazarou, two of the actors in this amazing show. Jimmy, if you could tell the audience performance dates, ticket prices, and website information.
Great. We open April 11th and we run through May 3rd. And you can get your tickets at musicboxmusicals.com, and ticket prices are $35 for unreserved tickets and $45 for reserved tickets.
Okay, great. Again, that's www.musicboxmusicals.com. If you want to see a show about the ups and downs of dating, love, and marriage, then you don't want to miss this spectacular performance at the Music Box Theater of I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change. So make sure and get your tickets and stay tuned because we'll be coming back with more of HTV in just a moment. I'm here at the beautiful Owen Theater with the cast of the Player Theaters Company upcoming production of Gypsy. I have joining me today Director Jeff Baldwin. I have actors, Miss Brandy Baldwin playing Rose and Carolina Reyes playing Gypsy Rose Lee. Thank you guys for coming out today.
Our pleasure. Thanks for...
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're glad to have you guys on. Now, Jeff, some people say that Gypsy is really it's a gripping story of probably one of the most frightening aspects of show business.
Yes.
That being a stage mom. And
yes.
So,
but still holds true completely. You know,
Yeah,
I
tell
think
us
that's
about
one of
the
the
show.
reasons theater people like this musical so much, because it does hold true. You know, in my 30 some odd years in this profession, I've run against several roses, you know, and their children. I mean, it does hold true, you know. Fortunately, not in this cast. We have lots of mothers who come every night, as you know, right behind us here in the audience. We have a mother, but you know, they're not as infamous as the stage mother in this show. Plus, I mean, it is it's got family values in it. It's a family show, and it's got delightful music. Yeah, it's a family show, dysfunctional family, but I think there's a little dysfunction in every family.
Sure,
and without that dysfunction, I don't think we'd have the drama that makes this play the great American musical.
yeah, that's very, very good depiction and description of that. Very accurate. Thank you for that.
You bet.
So Mama Rose, tell us all about Mama Rose, because I know, having seen this show multiple times, that this is just a challenging role to play. I mean, she is a tough cookie.
She is a tough cookie. I likened her the other night to a whirlwind, just coming in and being in control all the time. It's just one of those things that she's most interested in is that control and getting her babies famous and on Broadway, which is her big dream. And unfortunately, I think it's really her dream that she wished for herself, just never got to be fulfilled. And so she's trying to live it through her children.
Curious now, Carolina.
Yes, Carolina.
Who's playing the famous Gypsy Rose Lee. What is, first tell me about your character and who she is, and then tell me the dynamic between you and your mother.
Oh my goodness. Well, Louise, I think, you know, she's a very humble person, and she is pushed away by her mother and really everyone else. I mean, in the famous birthday scene, it's her birthday and everyone just kind of ignores the fact everything else is going around her except her. It's not about her, it's about everyone else, and she's very humble about things, and she never gets angry, she never, you know, fights for attention. It's always about her mom and her daughter and her sister, and I think that's, something very sweet about Louise. And she loves her mother. She's always looked for her approval, and I think that's what drives her to become what she becomes in the end. So her mother's approval leads her to that. So
there's no business like show business. So stay tuned, because we're about to see a fabulous number from the cast of this American classic, Gypsy, and that's coming up right now.
I had a dream, a wonderful dream, Papa. All about June and the Orpheum Circuit. Give me a chance and I know I can work it. I had a dream, just as real as can be, Papa. There I was in Mr. Orpheum's office, and he was saying to me, Rose, get yourself some new orchestrations, new routines, and red velvet curtains. Get a feathered hat for the baby, photographs in front of the theater. Get an agent and a jig time. You'll be being booked in a big time. Oh, what a dream. A wonderful dream, Papa. And all that I need is $88, Papa. That's what he said, Papa. Only $88, Papa. Goodbye to blueberry pie. Good riddance to all the socials I had to go to, all the lodges I had to play, all the shriners I said hello to. Hey, LA, I'm coming your way. Some people sit on their butts. Got the dream, yeah, but not the guts. That's living for some people, for some humdrum people, I suppose, where they can stay and rot. But not Rose.
What a fantastic performance. That was so delightful. I want to thank director Jeff Baldwin coming out today, actors Brandy Baldwin playing Mama Rose and Carolina Reyes playing the famous Gypsy. Appreciate it. And Jeff, can you tell the audience performance dates, ticket prices, and website information?
We run May 16th through June 7th here at the Owen Theater in beautiful historic downtown Conroe. Theater tickets can be bought online at owentheater.com. You also can call our box office at 936-539-4090. Performances are Friday and Saturday nights at 8 p.m. and there are 2 Sunday matinees at 2 p.m.
Great. Again, that's www.owentheater.com. Make sure and get your tickets now. This show will sell out. Spectacular performance by the cast of the Players Theater Company of Gypsy. And also make sure and stay tuned, because we'll be back with more of HTB in just a moment.
Well, that's all for this month's edition of Houston Theater Beat. I'm your co-host, John Lazo.
And I'm your co-host, Holly Grice.
And until next time,
we'll see you at the show.